It's my great pleasure. Please join me in a warm welcome for Vice Mayor Anthony Galluccio.
Paul, thank you for that great introduction, and I first want to apologize to you for being late. I was walking all around Harvard Yard looking for Kresge Auditorium this morning. I think of today as a motivational day. I know that the superintendent calls it professional development today, but I think of it as a motivational day, and I don't think there's a group of people that deserve and require our motivation and our continued enrichment and support than the teachers of this city. And I wanted to come today and present a picture of the city as we see it on the city council, and how we're in a struggle right now, and how Cambridge today is facing still a struggle where we're truly a tale of two cities, where 16% of our residents don't have high school diplomas, 30% have graduate degrees. You see it in our changing neighborhoods, and you'll continue to see the struggle in this city to try to bring the economic divide together, and you deal with it on an everyday basis. That the teaching profession has become so much more than teaching lessons, and that you now are our guidance, you're our role models, you're our social workers, you're our family planners, you're everything that our society needs and depends on to lead our young people. And I don't think that people truly realize the job that's placed on your shoulders and what you face every day. And I want you to look at me today because I want to tell you a few stories about what the teachers of the city of Cambridge did for me. That's what I want to talk about today. From the time I was in Peabody School when my father passed away, and the entire Peabody School teaching community supported my family and rallied around my family, and I'll never forget the number of teachers, from gym teachers to custodians to lunch workers to our English and math teachers, coming to the funeral home and calling my house and supporting my family as a 12-year-old, and always realizing and recognizing and knowing what we had gone through personally, and then continuing to support my two sisters and I as we finished Peabody School. I will say this: Cambridge Rindge in Latin, regardless of what anyone says, was the greatest experience of my life, bar none. And I would not trade it. I would not trade that experience for law school or Providence College or truly any work experience or political experience I've had till today. And the people I met in that school and the experiences I had could never be exchanged, and the friends that I made are still my best friends today. This story I tell so many people, and I think this epitomizes what it is and what a teacher's potential is in terms of reaching just one kid and having one impact that truly changes someone's life. I came home and told my mother that I wanted to go to Providence College, and she said that we absolutely could not afford Providence College, and that Framingham State and Fitchburg had sent me letters to play sports there, and that they would be good choices and it would be much easier on us. And a teacher at the high school, Jim O'Connor, would not accept that as an answer. And I remember he said to me, "Anthony, your grades are not that good, but you could talk your way into any place." So we're driving down to Providence College, and we're going to sit outside the Office of Financial Aid, and we're going to sit there until you're accepted and that your family can afford to go. And that happened. And that happened because one teacher decided to make sure that happened. For a young person to finally find something that they love and that they're good at is everything. And I know that each one of you can find that in each young person today. And it doesn't have to be, they don't have to be an A student in that subject. They don't have to be a star athlete. They don't have to be someone who can get up and speak. But for each child to be able to find something that gives them that little bit of edge, that little bit of self-confidence that allows them to continue on and go out with their head held high. Because let's face it, we have the greatest city in this country. We couldn't have more pride. We couldn't have better resources. You couldn't have more support. We have the greatest city in this country. Madam Superintendent, I want to turn on cable TV and I want to see Cambridge Rindge in Latin, the greatest high school in the United States of America, and not just House A, and I love you, Ruby, but it's academy, it's leadership, it's RSTA, it's fundamental, it's pilot, it's the whole school. We have to give our community the highest sense of confidence in this school system. And I know it can happen, and I know our school committee can make it happen. Take on the tough challenges. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of talking about things like an alternative program for at-risk kids. Don't be afraid of talking about improving our technical program. Don't be afraid of talking about the inequities. Don't be afraid of talking about computer inequities. Don't be afraid of those issues. This community is behind you. This community respects you. We appreciate you. And I'm here to say thank you from me personally. And let's get out there and let's make this school system the cornerstone of our community. Let's make it the greatest school system in the world. And I want to thank you very much for allowing me to address you today, because it's been both an honor and a privilege, and I could not appreciate you more. Thank you very much.